behold, the summer of the scam continues. Welcome to the Rogue's Guide to the Future. Hello, you beautiful people. Today is day 201 of Office Hours. Office Hours, of course, is the Five Nation check-in. That's where we reach out to all five of the fandoms. We're talking about youtube.com/ModernRogue, 1.7 million subscribers and climbing. We're talking about youtube.com/ScamSchool with nearly 2 million subscribers. Going out live to x.com/Wood with over 1 million followers. We go undercover. We sneak around with all the suits. I think we blend in nicely. I think they all believe we're one of them over at LinkedIn.com with dozens of non-humans over there, I tell you. And of course, the elite ones, the hardest of the hardcores, the real ones, the ones I would tattoo right across my dumb, silly mug if I could. We're talking about the Elite Diamond Club, the real ones who show up live with their time, energy, and effort. Today, we are up to Scam School episode 98, the hot seat card trick. As you know, if you're brand new here, look, guys, the whole world is going to go real wobbly over the next 5 years. Now, most of you are too young to remember how this goes, but I'll tell you what, there's a very thin slice of us, those of us who still have our marbles upstairs and yet are still old enough to remember the last time we saw this kind of transformation. I'm talking about, I'm not going to say Generation X is the greatest generation, because there already is somebody who's stuck themselves on that label. But I'm going to say Generation X is the best generation. We're the ones who've seen this all before and see it all coming again. There's only going to be two types of humans in about 5 or 10 years. Those who wondered what the hell just happened and those who were riding the wave the entire time. That's why the summer of the scam is on. Step 1. The bad guys have robots. They're using them to deceive humans. The only way to recognize a trap coming from a mile away is to be a player in the game, which is why we're going through Scam School. The only show dedicated to social engineering at the bar and on the street. Each one of these are golden tickets, both for you to go out. I just spat celery. That's right. Take that. Golden tickets, both for you to make an impression when you go out into the real world and meet other humans, the only people that matter, but also so that you can smell trickery afoot when somebody's using it on you. So today, we're going to learn one of the most visual reveals to a card trick that I think we've ever taught on the program. We're hitting peak Scam School era. This one premiered in late January of 2010. We're going to watch the episode in its entirety. We're going to engage in some degenerate gambling, and then we'll be back with the rest of the news, because a lot's going on. The Pope's in the news. Have you heard of him? He's a cool cat.
This week, a trick that's actually better because you screw it up.
This episode of Scam School brought to you by Netflix and GoDaddy.
Welcome to the only show that'll give you more self-confidence than a pair of 3-inch platform shoes. Scam School, the only show dedicated to social engineering at the bar and on the street. I'm your host, Brian Brushwood, and I absolutely love this week's effect. It's a killer trick, it has an impressive ending, and a twist that you won't believe. Welcome to the hot seat. How's it going on, Brian? Julio? Avanya? Phoenix, awesome. You guys like card tricks?
Love them.
Really? Most people don't say they love card tricks, but that's what's great. You're sitting at the bar, you got a deck of cards, and you just want to goof off and blow some brains, and that's what I got for you guys right here. I've got a deck trick, and the best part is I don't do hardly anything. You guys do all the hard work, and I'm going to take all the credit. Sound good?
All right.
You're like, what the hell kind of trick is this? This sucks. Here's what I want you to do. Who's going to be the hands to actually, who can handle a deck of cards?
You know you can handle some cards, Las Vegas boy.
All right, there we go. Julio, do me a favor, buddy. I want you to, and you guys can decide among yourselves. We're going to pick a card. We're going to try to make it as random as possible, and I intend to prove that I knew from the beginning what card you would be thinking of. In fact, I've written Brian's prediction, and in fact, I'll just set it right there. So everybody knows that I'm not cheating, right? Here's what I want you to do, buddy. I want you to think of a 2-digit number. Let's say between 10 and 20, relatively small. Whatever that number is, I want you to deal down that many cards right there in a nice, neat pile. Let me know once you got that done. I'm not even going to look. That's how lazy I am. I'm not even going to watch my own damn trick. You got it, boss?
Yep.
Awesome. Now I want you to take those cards. We'll get rid of these. These don't matter anymore. And I want you to think of the 2 digits of your number. We're going to make this a little more random. And I want you to add those 2 digits up and deal that many cards down. So like, let's say, for example, your first number was 14, and you dealt 14 cards, so you have 14 cards. You would add up the 2 digits, 1 and 4, which would give you 5, so you would deal 5 cards down, is what I mean. Right, so now I'm not saying just deal 5, whatever your number was. Yeah, okay?
Math is hard.
Apparently so. All right, you got it? You got it? All right, let's get rid of all these as well. So we started with 52 cards that you watched me shuffle. I handed you the deck, you picked a 2-digit number, and you dealt that many cards down. I still don't know what number was it, by the way? 16. So you dealt down 16 cards. Then we had you to mix it up even more, take those digits, the 1 and the 6, add them up for 7, and you dealt down 7 cards. And yet, even though I didn't know your numbers, I didn't know anything, I knew before the trick began, I made my prediction that you will pick the 8 of clubs. Turn over that card. All right, hold on. This is not screwed. This is not, in fact, if I can fix this, I think you guys should buy me a drink. Here you go, watch this, watch this, watch this. Ready?
No!
Yeah! So I'm not that terrible after all, right? I tell you what, I'm going to teach you guys how this is done, but first we have to thank our sponsors. Thanks, guys.
This week we take a break from scams and cons, and I want to talk about science fiction.
Oh,
2009
yeah.
was an amazing year for
Hold
sci-fi.
on.
You had
Yeah,
the
what-
new Star Trek,
what's my
you
pick?
had Avatar, but what you probably missed was one of the best science fiction
Oh
movies
yeah,
in
no,
the recent
Moon's great.
decade. I'm
Okay,
talking
good
about
job, Pass
Moon,
Brian.
starring
That's a
Sam
really
Rockwell,
good, a
directed
good
by
one. By the way,
Milestone.
we're doing some
Also
degenerate
featuring
gambling.
voice
As you
of
guys
Space.
know,
This is an
these are the very
amazing
beginning
movie, and I
episodes
missed
on the
it. This
channel.
theatrical
Not
release
all of them
counts
were
down the
hits
days
right
until
out of the
finally it
gates.
was available
We've
on
seen as
Netflix.
low as 4,500. We've seen as high as 1.4 million. So place your guess right now by using Bang Guess and then punch in your guess number in there.
Just head on over to www.netflix.com/scamschool and sign up for your free, no-risk 2-week free trial. Order Moon. It'll be there in only 1 business day, and then return it. Don't forget, when you type in the URL, though, that the wwws at the beginning are just as important as the scam school at the end to make sure we get credit.
All right, guys, I love this trick because it looks like the magician is totally screwed up and is a total idiot douchebag, but then he comes out on top. And this was taught to me by a friend of mine, Steve Daly. The guy's brilliant. He's hilarious. He performs under the name Tiny Bubbles, and he's actually one of the consultants for Chris Angel's Mind Freak series. And there's 2 parts to this one, okay? First, there's the card trick part. We'll go over that one first, and then we'll talk about the reveal in a second. All you have to do to get ready for this is put the 3 of spades 10th from the top. The 10th card from the top needs to be the 3 of spades. So set the 3 of spades on there. You add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 cards on top. So the 10th card down is
The 3 of spades.
That's right. Now the nice thing about it is that you can actually shuffle the cards as long as you don't muck with that stack on top. You can shuffle the cards right in front of them. And what I like to do is not make a big deal. Don't draw attention to it. Just, you're shuffling cards because you're shuffling cards. And then if they're not paying attention, they're not going to notice whether or not you're affecting those top cards. Then you hand them the deck. And you say, think of any 2-digit number between 10 and 20. You got one?
I got
All
one.
right, which one you got?
12.
12. Go ahead and deal down 12 cards. There we go. Let's go ahead and square all those up. Now, here's what's happened. At this point, you've reversed all those cards. So now, you're going to take the 2 digits that make up 12, which is 1 and 2, add them up for 3, and you'll deal down 3 cards. And mathematically, it just works out that whenever you do it, you'll always end up with the card they pick being the 3 of spades. Okay? Works for 11, 12, 13, 14, any number between 10 and 20, right? So you've already got a way that you can make them take the 3 of spades. But that's not the best part. The best part of this trick is you go through the whole process. You talk up like you're a total badass by showing your prediction. And normally, you show your prediction after you know what the actual card is. But because this is one of those you look like you screwed up and then you pull it off kind of things, you can actually reveal your prediction beforehand and say you will pick the 8 of clubs. And then when they turn it over and it's the 3 of spades, it's such an awesome moment because all of you guys are just like, ah, ha, ha, in your face, spiky-haired loser. But then you say, well, let me see if I can fix that. And all you need is any kind of heat source. And when you place it over the heat source, it magically transforms from the 8 of clubs into the 3 of spades. Now, the way you actually make the visible change happen is that there's a pen available all over the United States. Just go and pick up one of these Pilot friction pens. And these are erasable pens that have an eraser on the back. For example, here, if I write the word erase, there's a rubber tip, and when you rub it, the ink erases. The rubber tip has nothing to do with actually erasing it. It's actually the heat from the friction that's causing it to erase. So you can make any doodle you want, and when you put a flame underneath it, it will magically vanish. So to set it up, all you need to do is take a regular pen and just say, you're just going to draw a spade and a 3, just like so. And then you're going to cover it up by drawing an 8 over the 3 and a club over the spade. Now in this case, you may notice that the friction pen is a little bit lighter than the other pen that I used. Now you can fix that by just finding another lighter pen, but I've also noticed with the friction pens, the slower you draw, the thicker the ink comes out, and the better it looks on the prediction. And then, right in front of their eyes, you can hold it over the flame, and it totally vanishes. Wow. Make sense?
Yeah, wow.
So,
Cool.
2 parts for this one. Now that you know the mechanics of it, we're going to see if you guys can pull it off after the break.
Oh,
week's
look at
domain
this.
snack comes
We
from a
got
letter
we got
I
a
got a few
proper
months back that
toast.
reads, "Hey,
We got
Ryan,
a
just so you know,
proper
make sure you get credit for another domain
what is
snack
this?
URL from GoDaddy. www.worstdangbarbecue.com. This domain is going to be a traveling domain smack to highlight different sites of those on the professional barbecue competition circuit. Check it out. By the way, love the show. Watch through TiVo. Peace out, Jim. That's a great idea, Jim,
TiVo!
because you can, using GoDaddy,
Shouts
you can
out to
continuously
TiVo.
keep pointing your URL.
Yeah, so domain smacks. That was great. Yeah, man, get ready to get C blocked. All the ingredients are there. I even toasted going into the first break. By the way, pro tip, you can see that I was sitting on my shoe. That was the trick that I always got to get a couple more inches, because it's hard to do magic when you're doing T-Rex hands like this the entire time.
All right, Phoenix, you, my friend, are going to be the magician. So before the trick even begins, you have to prep your prediction. So you're going to use a regular pen to write "you will pick" the 3 of spades, which I've already written out for you. And then you're going to use the magic heat-sensitive pen. Change that 3 of spades into a 3 of clubs.
Okay, so this one is already done.
Yeah,
Okay.
that one's already done.
Okay.
All right, fold it up.
Okay.
So, remember also, you want to set your prediction out where they can see it the whole time so they know you're not doing any switcheroo beforehand. And then what do you want to do to set up how do you have to set up the deck of cards?
Okay, I want to make sure that the 3 of spades is a 10 card down.
That's correct. So,
Okay.
so I put the 3 on top, so go ahead and set it up the right way.
Okay. All right, so I got a little card trick I want to show you here. So what I want you to do is here, take these cards. I want you to think of a number between 10 and 20, and I want you to deal out that number of cards.
So far, 100%. He's on target. He's on the mark.
Okay. Now I want you to take the number that you're thinking of. For example, if it's 12, add the 1 and the 2 together, and you come up with a number, which would be 3. Okay. So add those 2 numbers together that you have in your mind, and deal those cards. Okay. I know what your prediction is going to be. Okay. And I'm going to show you what it is right now. The 8 of clubs.
All right, turn it over. Is he right? Ha ha, stupid magician. You're totally lame.
I am delayed cool, baby. And
What?
let me show you how.
What?
Some delayed cool action.
What?
The magic of the fire. Check it out.
Oh, wizardry!
Look at that.
I want to marry you and have your children now. You're the best magician ever. Very good job, Phoenix. All right, I got one more bonus thing for you, and I got to set up a challenge because when Steve set this up for me and he showed me the trick, he showed me some alternate handlings you can do with it, and he made a pretty tasteless joke, actually. And I would never write this kind of joke. This is Steve's joke, and in fact, I'm betting we can come up with something better than the way he did. So in this case, he actually pulls this out and he writes down the word cotex. Cotex. Now, but the cotex, it's covering something up. You know what the... I can't believe it. You know what cotex covers up, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
That's so terrible. That's terrible. All right, so here's the challenge, though. I'm going to put it to the Scam School viewers to see if we can't come up with a better word within a word. I want everyone to submit them and send them in, but I can't thank you guys enough. That was such a blast. You guys are freaking awesome.
All right, thanks
so much. First and foremost, we want to thank Steve Daly for tipping us off to the friction heat pens. That transformation looks nothing short of magical. Second of all, when you're pulling off this trick, make sure to play it up. Be a buffoon. Go ahead and come crashing to the ground, let everybody laugh at you, and then blow them away by transforming your incorrect prediction into the right one. Lastly, we've got to come up with more jokes besides the cotex covers the whole. So I'm putting all of you guys to work starting right now. I want you to find words that you can hide within other words and come up with some puns or gags or jokes so that we can start using them. And I want you to post them at Twitter using the hashtag #PenTrick. We'll round them up and feature them in a future Scam School episode. Don't forget, if you want to suggest your favorite bar scam, write me directly at brian@revision3.com. Or you can head over to scamschool.tv and check out all of our episodes right back to episode 1. If you're doing the Twitter thing, you can follow the show at twitter.com/scamschool. If you want to follow my adventures, head on over to twitter.com/schwood. By the way, I do a lot of touring. If you want to catch me when I'm in your hometown, that's probably the best way to know what I'm up to. Next week, we're going to be doing arts and crafts as we learn to make figurines using fingernail clippings, which is pretty gross. So I'm going to drink while I think about that. Fingernails.
Oh, sucky. Wait for it. Is there an outtake? No outtake. We got it. Got it. Good job, team. Man, that's a solid, good episode. Yeah, I do believe those friction pens are still available. In fact, here, let's take a moment to, let's see if we can find one. Friction pen. Yeah, they got them from Amazon. Those are good ones. Nicely done. All right, guys, so here's the thing. We're going to find out how many views this got when it first came out, which was late January 2010. I think this is only the third episode since the channel got its own, or since the show got its own channel. So previously, what was last couple of days was in the teens or 30s. Yeah, a binging Scam School on Bart. That's amazing. Yeah, dude, it's funny, those anchors. So here's what I want you guys to do. I want you to head on over to guessattack.com, guessattack.com, and we're going to see who gets closest. Coming in with 38,765 is BioCow. Muslix at 12,487. Oh, yeah, it's Adam with 24,000. G. James B with 49,254. James Cobalt, 65,753. Flying Car 100 with 39,000. Sine Wave with 38,067. Magic 51 with 65,000. Karo Metoriku with 39,000. Earth 56 with 10,035. Charles Rubach with 34,499. Joey H666 with 80,000. Hawk Warley with 1.2 million. Cliff with 59,787. Bantarat with 67,670. Curtis Hoffman, 69.56 with 40,000. Sixter, 41.57 with 102,650. Tyler with 37,123. Kian from Ireland with 190,526. Michaelis with 12,000. Jason with 69,420. Let's see who it was right. There we go. The actual number is 130,928. So here, let me see if I can close this out right. GUESSESCLOSED. Whatever the number is, 130,928. Let's see if I got it to work. There we go. Hey, I'm the winner. Off by a scant 28,278 is Sixter, 4157. Joey, 666, off just by 50,000. And Kian, off by 59,598. That was a big one. I'm curious, actually, if this one popped right at the beginning or... Let's do all time. I bet this one popped later. Yeah, look at this. It got all of 96 views when it first launched. And it sat there getting about a dozen a day until finally, it got dozens per day. And then eventually it got hundreds per day. Yeah, look at that. Dozens per day. Hundreds, dozens, dozens, dozens. Single digit, single digit, single digit, single digit. Same thing with the subscribers. You can see that wave come on in. This is a really good episode. Viewbot spikes. AKA humans. The big spike was 9/11. Wow. Yeah, it is. It's a nice, steady, slow burn episode. All right, guys. So here's the thing. A thing I like about YouTube is not only does it remember everything that you ever wrote and remember everything that you ever watched, but it's a two-way street. With these 70 old comments, a bunch of these, I'm going to be able to respond to. So while I do that, you guys can go nuts with the whiteboard. There you go. Wow, 5 years. Insane, man. I feel so nostalgic watching this. I was at a very dark time in my life when I first watched this video. I remember how it led me into watching more and more card tricks, becoming somewhat talented at them. Further down the road, they played a big part when I first met my girlfriend. They gave me the confidence to approach her and show her something amazing. Today, I live an amazing life full of happiness, and I'm realizing that this channel helped me so much to get there. Thank you so much, Brian. I'd like you to know that you changed my life. Perhaps you even saved it. Wow. Man, this makes my week to hear. Thanks so much for letting me know. And don't be a stranger, okay? I won't. Thanks so much, Brian. There we go. Let's do this. Wow. We're doing live stream rewatches and just got up to this episode. It's number 98. Reading this again a decade later just made my day. Hope you're well. XOXO, Brian. Let's see what the Dr. Bob is doing. Oh, 9 years ago is what he was doing. Yeah, these are all old. Pew! What? What are you talking about? What are you even like? There you go. There you go. I got to warn you, this is not a straight cipher. This is not a straight substitution. There's a little bit going on. There's a bit of cultural acumen that you need. Yeah. Although you could probably solve it without the cultural acumen. It's an anchored core memory. We're rewatching all these on the live streams. You should join us. This is one of the best tricks I learned from Scam School. Thanks to Steve Daly. 89% of magic tricks are not magic. Technically, they're sorcery. Love this. Don't love the force used, but I love the pen idea. I use it a lot. Yeah, entry level force for sure, but solid one for beginners. The ad was great. This was uploaded at my birthday. Happy birthday. I like to understand things I'm doing. Thank you very much. Okay, good. Hey, that awkward moment that you realize your bachelor's exam, that you wrote your bachelor's exam with this pen and pray the papers won't be exposed to heat prior to being corrected. Also, I think about all the erased things that can be brought back when you put them in the freezer. Tried myself and it works. Those pens are popular. They're available where I live in Australia. Hi, Australia. Thanks. Look at this. Hold on. This must be something wrong. There's all of this. All of these these nice words. I don't understand what's happening. Whoa, mate, there's a spider on your picture. Oh, these are them replying to each other. Okay, now you're all arguing. Got it. Got it. Guys, it's in between 10 and 20, not 10 to 20. Nearly broke my screen because of your picture. What? Okay, looks like past Brian got a lot of this. But what do you do if they pick 20? Then they didn't follow the instructions. Bullshit. I went on Netflix. It didn't find it. Okay. Everybody's... Okay. Great ideas. Who is Jordan? J Dirt. Okay. All right. $1.15. I can get them at your local supermarkets. Also in the UK, they're very popular. Blah, 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 blah. I mean, the site is called Scam Stuff. Whatever, man. Go get them. If you go get them wherever. Make everything. Yeah. All right. What do you guys got? Any rules on deciphering? No, man. Just, you got to decipher, just got to decrypt it. If you recognize what's going on, pretty easy. Just saying. Dylan Thea says he's done that before. You can bring the message back in with cold. It's not 100%, still needs work. Yeah, that is the kind of thing that works. All right. So yesterday, I went ahead and I set up a subdomain, officehours.themodernrogue.com. Haha. You guys can play stories for tomorrow. But meanwhile, Business Insider. Figure AI had one of its robots race an intern to sort packages. See who lost. Who do you think won? Who do you guys think won between the robot and the human? In the first round of human versus humanoid, the human emerged victorious, but just barely. For nearly a week, the $35 billion robotic startup Figure AI has been live streaming its robots, placing packages barcode side down on a conveyor belt at its San Jose headquarters. By the way, have you guys seen this? I think we can. Where is that? Well, here, we'll just go to YouTube, Figure AI live stream. There's a few moments as you watch this thing doing its live stream that you can see that when it's being teleoperated. Like, for example, out of nowhere, it's in the middle of moving, and then it just sort of does this pose like this, almost as though the human teleoperator is adjusting the eyeglasses on there. But of course, even if it's just training, then that's still incredible. But this constant live stream is sort of a Zen thing. Although the comments are also pretty funny on it, because some folks are talking about, like, I don't know. I suspect that this is not a job that is terribly fulfilling for humans. But what do I know? Maybe that's what somebody somewhere just aspires to be, do, or have. I am glad to finally know what they're doing. Those moments right there, those uncanny human ones, are pretty wild. But in this case, they had a race. For nearly a week, they've been running a live stream. Millions have tuned in to watch the strangely compelling display of robotic drudgery. This weekend, they raised the stakes. The company brought in an intern to compete against one of its robots in a 10-hour package sorting contest. The intern, Amé Gerard, works as a visualization specialist, according to LinkedIn. So he's not even a professional. They didn't even bring in a ringer. They didn't bring in a professional box flipper, barcode exposer. Gerard had the upper hand until biology took over. Around the 5-hour mark, he stepped away for a bathroom break, and the humanoid pulled ahead. Under California labor law, Gerard was entitled to meal and paid rest breaks. Gerard bounced back, though, despite the disadvantage of being human. After 10 hours of grueling work that apparently left the intern with blisters, he sorted 12,924 packages, 192 more than his robot rival. Gerard averaged 2.79 seconds per package. The humanoid averaged 2.83. How do we feel about that one? Are we angry and upset that job isn't being done by a human? It is uncanny enough. It does look like a drunk guy working. As opposed to the actual guys, who may very well be drunk. Or at least all methed up. I'm still mad at Blenders for taking my grandpa's job of shipping ice. Chopping ice, okay. That makes more sense. Yeah, so it'll get faster, but also I don't think in this case we care if it's faster, right? What we care is that this is repetitive injury bliss for humans. And also, that intern was probably going to do something more productive with his time, but instead had to spend a day sorting packages. Also, I'll be curious what other jobs. This is a really good kind of first test of a job. Man, soon we've got the headlines coming of somebody using a robot to attack somebody. What if that video is AI? I mean, there's certainly AI all around it. But this is where we enter the magic trick hypothesis, where to fake all of this would require a level of secrecy where it would be more impressive to me if all of this were fake. It seems like the shortest path would just be to take that level of everything and have it be real. Now, the only question is whether or not it's fully autonomous or not, which you could be fudging right now on it. I wonder if they're running ads on this. Because that's a long, sustained thing. 1,600 people watching 24 hours a day. That's crazy. Ooh, I want to see the first news story of somebody using a robot to rob a convenience store. Yep, I'm sure that'll happen. Look, this is what we're buckled in for. Front row seat of the world getting wobbly. Are you kidding me? How would you ID it? It's just a machine. There's no license plate or anything. Yeah, I wonder if there's a kind of a fingerprint to specific nuances in the motion, because we're already at a place where really just the shape of someone's face is their fingerprint, where it's unique to your face. And same thing with the style of writing. You can't write more than a few paragraphs without being uniquely identifiable. Same thing with mannerisms and movement. And I would imagine that it would probably be worth baking in, just like the rifling on various weapons. Although that happens, I don't think on purpose. I don't know. I'm an AI, bro. So this is the coolest ish I've ever seen. What's funny is I don't know if you mean, Lord Tyler, that you're an AI bro or an AI, bro. Occasional robot walking by in the background. I don't think I caught that. Yeah, dude. It's hypnotic and strange. What a world. All right. Get out. Sign just found an amazing one. Apple's new accessibility feature lets Vision Pro users control a wheelchair with their eyes. New detailed descriptions and natural language navigation features will be powered by Apple Intelligence. Okay. Weak link right here. Apple Intelligence, not exactly the most impressive outing from Apple so far. But they're going to get there, I'm certain. Especially when they start outsourcing some of the thinky work. Apple's previewing new accessibility features, including Apple Intelligence-powered updates like natural language voice input, along with a new Vision Pro app that allows eye control for motorized wheelchairs. The updates revealed just ahead of the Global Accessibility Awareness Day, GAAD, on May 21st arrive later this year. With Apple Intelligence, we're bringing powerful new capabilities into our accessibility features while maintaining our foundational commitment to privacy by design, says Apple CEO Tim Apple. The Image Explorer in VoiceOver now uses Apple Intelligence to give more detailed descriptions of images system-wide, including photos, which often lack detailed alt description, scan bills, personal records, and other content. With updates to live recognition, VoiceOver users can press the action button on an iPhone to quickly ask a question about what's in the camera viewfinder and get a detailed response, ask follow-up questions, etc. So Apple's had a rough go with this rollout, partly because Apple's their move has traditionally been to wait at all times until they're able to release something immediately with complete polish and close to perfection, oftentimes acting as though they invented the whole thing. Whereas we're instead in a very, very mushy time as the world gone wobbly. Magnifier, meanwhile, will use Apple Intelligence to bring visual descriptions to its high contrast interface for users with low vision. Also works with the action button. You can say things like zoom in, turn on the flashlight. I want the Vision Pro story. Generated subtitles, that makes sense. There we go. Finally, Apple introduced a new wheelchair control feature for Apple Vision Pro. Using the precision eye tracking system on the headsets, the new power wheelchair control feature offers a responsive input method for compatible alternative drive systems. It doesn't require frequent recalibration, works in a variety of lighting conditions, offering compatibility with TOLT and LUCI alternative drive systems. Blah, blah, blah. The option to control my power wheelchair on my own is gold. Yeah. That one is pretty huge. That's incredible. Steven Soderbergh got a new movie about John Lennon. And he's ready to... This is one place. Hollywood has been pretty unified in... very few people have wanted to go to bat for using generated imagery. The day John Lennon was shot, he and Yoko Ono gave an interview to a San Francisco radio crew from their home in New York's Dakota apartments. They were promoting their new album, Double Fantasy, but the 2-hour conversation was wide-ranging. Though the interviews had been warned no Beatles questions, Lennon and Ono were thrillingly open. That same day, Annie Leibovitz also shot the famous portrait of a clothesless Lennon wrapped around Ono. That's the same day. What a day. That's crazy. That's really crazy. The two riff on their love, relationship, creativity, life after the Beatles, raising their toddler son, writing songs in bed. At the age of 40, he sounds like someone who's found real clarity. I feel like nothing happened before today. Oof. So basically, Steven Soderbergh turns those surviving tapes into a documentary that does much to demystify stuff. So you got to have some kind of visuals for stuff. I was so compelled by the generosity of spirit throughout the conversation. He explained in an interview at Cannes. It's like the world took place in one day in this apartment. Making it posed an acute problem. Soderbergh was resolved to let the audio play. He could find ways to visualize much of the film, I assume with stock stuff, so he just had the audio. But that still left a large gap where the conversation grows more philosophical, where you don't have hard visuals to work with. I worked on everything that could be solved except for that as long as I could. Then there was this inevitable moment of, all right, but really what are we going to do? We just started playing on ran out of time and money. Ran out of time and money. That's where the meta piece came in. What? The meta piece? Soderbergh accepted an offer to use Meta's AI software to conjure surreal imagery for those sections, which make up about 10% of the film. When Soderbergh let the news out earlier this year, got an uproar, predictably. One of America's leading filmmakers was using AI in a film about a Beatle, no less. The AI parts, overwhelmingly slammed by critics in Cannes, are fairly banal, but don't differ greatly from special effects. There are no deepfakes of Lennon, but they put Soderbergh at the forefront of the industry-wide debate about the uses of AI in movie making. It's a conversation that the director, who's made entire movies on iPhones, is eager to have. Oh, we get him talking. You've been forthright about your use of AI here. Why? Transparency is important. Yep. Did you expect such a strong response? I knew what was coming. I take it very seriously. I understand why people have an emotional response to the subject. As I've said before, I feel like I owe the people the best version of whatever it is I'm trying to make and total transparency about how I'm doing it. But yeah, you don't say yes to Meta offering you these tools and offering to finish the film and not know you're about to come in for some heat. That was part of the deal. Yeah, that sounds right. Some fear that generative AI is going to tear apart the film industry. You don't see it as a boogeyman, though. I think most jobs that matter when you're making a movie cannot be performed by this tech and never will be performed by this tech. I would offer a slight distinction. I think that in general, planting a flag on it will never be blank is a bad bet because eventually it will be able to. I think the question is, you can plant a flag on saying that people won't like it if they know it. Hey, it's doggo o'clock. It's doggo o'clock. Hold on. Oh, what's up? Whoa. You want some? Hold on. You want something? Hold on. Whoa. What are you doing? Shit. That dog just ran away with my celery. And Pippi stole it? Hold on. We got dog attack for celery. The dog is AI. I love those moments when this becomes real. All right, guys. I think that might be my time. Sign says hi, Bonnie. She says hi. All right, guys. I got to take these dogs on a journey. What are you doing? No. Here, wait. Sit. Who likes celery? Gentle. Gentle. Bad dog. All right, guys. Oh, shoot. Yep, we got to do credits. There we go. Beautiful. All right, guys. This has been Office Hours, brought to you by gentlemen, warrior, and scoundrels like you. Special thanks to, it's Adam, Sinewave, BioCow, Lord Champion of the Guess Attack Realm, Kurometsu Riku, G. James B., Dylan Theus, 9542, Charles Rubach, Curtis Hoffman, 6956, Lord Tyler, Luke Sightwalker, ATL John Boy. All right, beautiful people. I'll see you guys tomorrow.